Alright, hi everybody. We're going to do something different today. Today I'm going to work on this big page, which is a page out of my Strathmore Artist Tiles sketchbook. These tiles are a 6" by 6" tile. I don't know if you can see that. 6" by 6" tile, or 15.3 centimeter by 15.3 centimeter. It's on a 60-pound 89 GSM or weight paper. It's just a sketch paper. It's not the heaviest paper in the world, but it's heavy enough that you don't, your pen usually doesn't soak through. I like this for traveling. This is what I take with me when I go to church and so forth. I'll do a quickie flip through of some of the things that I've got in here. I'll do a full flip through sometime when I'm finished with this book, but just to give you some idea of what I do when I'm not doing tiles that are the little ones. That's the one I carry with me. But I wanted to do a bigger size because I finally went and got my, I had taken my trip to Hobby Lobby and gotten my Helix angle and circle maker. Some people in our group had seen this and was wondering how in the world you would use it and what would you use it for. And it was a really cheap. It was only $4.49, and I used my coupon, so I got 40% off of that. So it was like just a little over $2. It was cheap. Okay, so I've already taken it out of the package and played with it a little bit, but I just wanted you to see that's what the package looks like. That's what the back of the package looks like. It gives you a little bit of instruction on how to use it for circles and how to use it for angles. Mostly the only thing I found was when I tried to use it in my sketchbook, the spiral binding of my sketchbook kind of got in the way of laying this flat on the paper. So that's why I decided to just take the tile right out of the page and work this way. So, it's awesome. Number one, first off, I want to just tell you it's awesome. Number two, oops, I forgot to turn on my lights. You guys probably can't see as well as you should be able to see. Let me turn it way on so, oh, much better. Okay. So, some of the things it can do, obviously it can draw these little circles. They show you the sizes. Goes all the way from 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, and 8/8 of a circle. Can you read that? Let me leave it on that so you guys can read it. It's sideways. Okay. So those are the different circle sizes. So you could make all those different circles, put them wherever. And then if you use this straight line across here with turning it to the angle, you can make your angle shapes. And then these little holes here will give you a hole to put your pencil in and then spin it around and make your circles. So what I'm going to do is just that. I've always wanted to make, when I do, I'm a little scattered, but when I do a regular, like I want to try to do like a mandala type thing, and I'm doing my own not perfect grid or thing to divide it, I usually like divide it in half like that. Can you see that? Like that. And like that, and then I'll put like this, whoops, and like this, in order to kind of give me some sort of angle to base my design on. And so I almost always end up with a design that has 8 pie-shaped sections, no matter what. Because I find this is the easiest way for me to divide my page. Sometimes I will try to divide it in 6. So I'll do the 4 and then no, that's not right. In order to get 6, you have to do 1 straight line and then you have to do an X. Like that and like that. So then I'll get a 6 pie shape, but my angles are usually not right. This one's usually smaller than this one. And it doesn't make, if you're trying to do like a mandala, it doesn't make it even. And I have the hardest time making even mandalas. And so mine, I haven't really drawn that many of them because I have a hard time making them even. So I thought this would be awesome for a couple of things. I thought I could draw circles that are actual circles instead of, you know, sort of oblong. And then I could divide into 5 instead of 6, or I could divide into 7, or whatever number I want to divide into. I did that here. I used it, and I could divide into 5. I really love this because I've never really been able to do something that had 5 spokes. They're always these 6 or 8. So, I'll show you how I did that. So the first thing I did was I just kind of put this sort of in the middle of my page. Now you can draw all the way around the outside if you want, which I may want that, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then when you draw on the inside, let me zoom in just a little bit so you can see how it works. If you put your pencil here, let me turn this so you can see it. If you put your pencil here, your circle will be 2 inches from the middle. So it will be a 4-inch circle. It'll be a 2-inch radius and a 4-inch diameter. Okay? And you just turn. Boom. Simple. If you want one at 1 inch, you just turn. If you want one at a 1/2 inch, you just turn. Okay. If you want one smaller than that, you can use these ones. And then the other thing you can do is figure out what angle you want your things to be. So like if I put this right here at 0, this thing's pointing at 0. Can you see that? I gotta move my camera just a nudge. Okay, or my paper just a smudge. There you go. If you have that at 0, well then obviously this line is going to be straight across, will be straight. But then you can, you know, if you want to do it every 10 degrees, you could do that. Every 20 degrees, you could do that. Every 30 degrees, you could do that. So, super simple. Super duper simple. When I did 5, let me get my calculator so I can show you what I did. When I did 5, this is 360 degrees all the way around. So I did 360 on my calculator divided by 5. 72. Every 72 degrees, I want to put a mark or make the straight line. So at 72, I want a line. At 144, I want a line. At 216, I want a line. At 288, I want a line. And then the last one should be 360. Okay? So, I'm going to start here in the middle. And I'm going to put from the middle to that 0 as a line. And then I'm going to scooch my thing over and then I'm going to do 72. So I have to go 60, 70, 1 and 2 approximately. Now it might not be exactly super, I mean, I'm sure you can get some things that are way more accurate, but this is close enough. Okay, so I was at 72, so now I need to go to the 144, which is just less than that, right about there. And then the 216, which would be 210. Oops, am I moving my center? Don't want to move my center. Hang on to your ring. That's the hardest part. 215, 216 would be right there. And then 288, 88, 89, 90, right there. Okay, so look, I've got my circle divided in 5 equal parts. That's awesome. And then what I did was I wanted to have some variation. These I can bring out further. That bit right there, I can just use a straight edge or use this and continue that line if I want, which I may want to do. So let me do that here real quick. Oop, gotta go out further. And I'm doing all this in pencil so that I have a nice template. You know, I didn't get that nice and straight. It would be easier, that extending that line will be easier with my straight edge. Yeah. Let me use my straight edge. That's better. That gets you, oops, a really nice, evenly divided space. If you want to do something in between there, rather than just kind of guessing where the middle is, you can do 36. Where'd my 0 go? Find my 0. Put the 0 on the line. And then go 36. And maybe we want just that last part. And then 180. Actually, you know, if you have it here, look at that. That lines up. That's the one that's already there. And there's the other side, the other half, right? So I can just put this on the line. Oops, as long as I haven't gotten way out of sorts here. And over on this side will be the other half. That works. I'm missing one. That one. And this one. Okay. See how that works? That makes it super simple. And then what I did was I just decided I wanted some regular circles somewhere in here. So you can take this and just stick it here on the line. You can use these little points to guide up on a straight line. You can put it here. You could put it over here. You can maybe make this right in the middle. Let's say I want it here and I want this size. I can do that. And I can put those in the same place on all of these little spots. That. And if you want to, you could even do something even more different and maybe use that same starting spot, put that start on that same spot, or maybe over here. Let's try it over here. Let's put start here and let's use I used the smallest one for that one, so let's use maybe this size. Where does that end up? So use just slightly smaller. Want that to end up here, touching that one. So where does that? No, not that. Let's use the number 1. I'm going to start right there. I'm going to use the number 1. And I'm just going to go like this. Right there. Use the number 1. And this is going to take a minute to do, because if you're going to do these complicated mandala shapes, that's what happens. It takes a minute to do. There we go. And then I can use this as the starting point for whatever I want to do on it. I can just choose a pattern. I can start in the middle. I can start at the edges. I can do whatever I want with my drawing at this point. I'm not going to draw a whole drawing because I know that one this complex and of this size is going to take a considerable amount of time. But let's just give you an idea of maybe I want to do a rice shape coming out here. So I can use that line to guide me as I draw that shape. Okay, and then perhaps in this shape here, I want to do let's see, what do I want to do? Maybe from here over to this line, I want to make a arc. Okay. And then maybe from that, maybe I want rice shape again along this line. But by using the pencil grid as your like template or your starting point, you can do all sorts of interesting shapes and colors and sizes, whatever suits your fancy. I'm feeling like perhaps in this space here, I'm going to do like I did on this other one. I liked what I did here. I did this sort of interesting overlapping feathery shape. So what I did was I chose a spot, like maybe this one, and I came up and around just to that line and back down, and then on the other side around up. Use that line as kind of a guide point as to where to stop. This kind of goes like that, and this kind of goes like that, and like this, and you can kind of like so. And then maybe one here like that. And then I'll do that same sort of shape in every one of these spots. You don't need to watch me do every single one. One more. Something like that. And then I'll go around and do the whole thing all the way around. And then maybe I'll decide I want more leafy-like shapes coming around that shape, which is what I did on the other one. Something like that. Just make it grow. But then at least I have them equally spaced amongst my tile. Yeah, I'm not going to make you watch me draw this whole thing, because this one might take me two hours to finish. But I just wanted to give you an idea of how to use the tool and how to get started with just ideas of what to do. You know, if you want to, you could decide that this shape was an interesting shape right here. Erase all this, and maybe within this area here, let me draw along here, and maybe along here like this, and then maybe inside this shape right here, you might erase your guidelines And in that spot, you might put a pattern that's one of your favorites. Maybe you put Cadent in there, or maybe you put, you know, Paradox in there, or maybe you put your own pattern that you've made up in there. Maybe you use one of the patterns we've done recently that's an interesting fill pattern, like this one. Maybe you use a grid pattern and stick that in there. Wouldn't that be interesting in that space? It's just a way to show you how you can use the Helix angle and circle maker, put some lines out, and then you don't have to use all the lines. Use some of the lines, give you just sort of an idea of where to go with it. Now, I just realized that this drawing is now going to be asymmetrical because that circle there should have had one of these things in it, but I chose to put that there. That's okay. That's okay. I can still do something else with this space here, and it'll be fine. You know, I just normally, because I was talking and I wasn't thinking, probably wouldn't have done that. I probably would have gone through and done all of these all the way around first, and then decided what to do next. Just play with it. You know, really, just play with it. It's a lot of fun, and you can do whatever you want. That's it for this one. I just wanted to let you guys know about that thing because a lot of people in the Facebook group had asked me for a video. So I finally got around to getting it done. I will see you guys on the next one with a regular pattern. Bye-bye.